friends. This is Miss Schaefer, and this is one of my favorite books. It's Big Al. Where do you think Big Al lives? You're right, he lives in the ocean. This is a story written by Andrew Clements. In the wide blue sea, there was a very friendly fish named Big Al. You could not find a nicer fish. But Big Al was also very, very scary. Look at that face. Is it scary? Other fish seemed to have at least one friend. Some had many, but Big Al, he had none. He did not really blame the other fish. How could he expect little fish to trust a great big fish with eyes and skin and teeth like his? Big Al was lonely, and he cried big salty tears in the big salty sea. Look, he's so sad. No one's playing with him. But Big Al really wanted friends, so he worked at it. First, he tried wrapping himself up with seaweed. He thought it was a great disguise, but when no one else did, he was sad. Who wants to stop and talk to a floating plant that has big, sharp teeth? Oh, how's he feeling? You're right, he is sad. He thought that if he puffed himself up round, the other fish would laugh and see how clever and silly he could be. All they saw was how big he could be, and they steered clear. They were afraid of him. Very early one morning, Big Al went down to the bottom and flopped and wiggled himself into the sand until he was almost covered up. He looked so much smaller. When the other fish came near, Big Al talked and joked with them and had a delightful time. But then one little scratchy grain of sand got stuck in his gills, and he sneezed. When the clouds of sand cleared away, all the other fish were gone. He was sad again. Big Al even changed his color one day so he could look like he belonged to a school of fish passing by. But he bubbled along with them for a while, laughing and feeling like he was just one of the crowd. See him with all his friends here? But he was so big and so clumsy that when all the tiny fish darted to the left and then quickly back to the right, Big Al just plowed straight ahead. He went bumping and thumping right into this little fish. Before he could even say, "Excuse me," they were all gone. He was alone again and sadder than ever. Just when Big Al was starting to be sure that he would never have a single friend, something happened. He was floating along sadly, watching some of the smaller fish and wishing they would come just a little closer. As he watched, a net dropped down silently from above, and in an instant, his friends were all caught. What's he going to do? Big Al forgot all about being lonely, and he forgot all about being sad. His eyes bulged out bigger and rounder than ever, and with a mighty flap of his tail, he opened his mouth and charged straight at the net. The net was strong, but Big Al was stronger. He ripped it right through it, and all the little fish rushed out the hole. Do you think they're going to be his friend now? He helped him out of that net. But when Big Al turned around to get out of the hole, he got all tangled up in the net. He was stuck. The net went higher and higher toward the bright surface of the sea, and the little fish watched. Big Al disappeared above them. When the little fish were able to speak again, all they talked about was that huge, wonderful fish that saved them. How great to be free, but what a shame that big fellow had to be captured. Now how are they feeling? You're right, they're sad. Just then there was a tremendous crashing splash above them, and the small fish dashed away. Was it the net again? No, not at all. It was Big Al. Those fishermen took one look at him and threw him right back into the ocean. Do you think they're going to be friends? Aww. And now there is one huge, puffy, scary, fierce-looking fish in the sea who has more friends than anyone else. Big Al. They didn't care what he looked like as long as he was their friend. The end.